Good day, my people and everyone. Yeah. I'm gonna do this in English. It's gonna be difficult for me to speak it in English, because English is not my mother tongue. Yeah. But I want to talk about white privilege. So I don't understand this word. Just like the South African government doesn't understand the word of maintenance and upkeep. They don't understand that word, so I don't understand this words of white privilege. Let me explain. Let me explain this. So when I was about 12 years old, that's standard 4. Standard 4 is what, grade 6. My friends in school, my chummies, they were getting pocket money. And then I heard they got pocket money. So I went to my dad. I said, Dad, listen, my friends, they're getting pocket money. Why am I not getting pocket money? My father looked at me, with disdain in his eyes. He didn't say it, I could see it in his eyes. So he asked me, what is pocket money? What's pocket money? I said, well, my friends, their parents are giving them money. So my father said, okay, you asked me this question. I'm not going to give you the answer. I'm going to show you. He said, after dinner tonight, don't let your mother wash the dishes. Go to the zinc, and if your mother's there, tell her, hey mom, don't wash the dishes. I will wash the dishes. I said, Dad, but no. He says, no. After dinner tonight, go and wash the dishes. Maybe then you'll understand pocket money. So that evening, after dinner, I did that. I told my mom, no, I'll wash the dishes. So I washed the dishes. And then I went to my father and said, you see, I washed the dishes. He said, no, it's all right, my son. I love you. Go to bed. So next morning, I woke up and said, Dad, this pocket money thing, can I have some pocket money? I said, okay, I'll pull out that time he had a Nissan Skyline. The color of it was glacier green, metallic glacier green, that Skyline. So he pulled that Skyline out of the garage, He said, here's a bucket, here's soap, and there's the vacuum cleaner, Clean the car, clean it out, wash the car. I said, for what? He said, that's pocket money. So I washed the car, I vacuumed it, I cleaned it properly. I even put dash care on the dash, and I took the toothbrush to the vents and cleaned the vents, and I cleaned it properly. And after that, he gave me a look. He said, "Good job, my son." I said, "Dad, pocket money." He just got in that car, pulled it back in the garage, ne? And the other car we had was a Volkswagen Beetle, ne, from my grandmother. A forest green Volkswagen Beetle. He said, "Wash the Beetle." Oh, no, okay, this is about pocket money. So now I also vacuumed the Beetle and cleaned the Beetle, washed it. Beetle has got two little grills there next to the clocks. You brush that thing with a toothbrush to get all the dust and things out. And yeah, Beetle's got a ticky box. You scrub that thing as well. Clean out the ticky box behind the back seats of a Beetle, ne? And after I was finished, I called him. I said, "Dad, I was proud." Yeah. I cleaned it properly. He looked at it and said, "Good job, son." And he pulled the Beetle back into the garage. Yeah. I said, "But Dad," he said, no buts. No buts. Yeah. Go get that Springbok lawnmower, yeah, out of the garage and cut the grass. Now, okay, we had a big yard, a really, really big yard. Nee. We had the biggest yard on the block. Nee. But my father, he loved his gardening, he loved his cactuses, he loved his flowers. Now, the way he cut the grass, nee, he cut it like a soccer field. You put it on a level, you cut this way, you turn around there, put it a level higher, you cut this way, and put it down so you get stripes over the grass. And then you have to go diagonally, the same way across, so you get square blocks on the grass. And they mustn't be skew. So you can't cut skew on the grass. So by the time I was finished, it was about 7 o'clock at night. I went to my dad. I said, "Dad, listen." He said, "Listen, no, you listen to me. I don't listen to you. You're the child, I'm the adult here. Go to the shower, wash your ass, get in bed and sleep." So I did that. So the next morning, it was Sunday, yeah. I got up, brushed the teeth, you go through your things you do, wash your face, look in the mirror. And I went to my dad, said, "Dad, I did everything you asked me. I washed the Skyline, I washed the Beetle, and I cut the grass. I was busy until 7 o'clock at night. Can I have some pocket money?" My father looked at me and said, "Listen, all the wash rags, and the buckets and the soap, and the polish you can use. Yeah. You can even use my lawnmower, that Springbok lawnmower. Yeah. Now you go to the neighbor, yeah, and tell him you will wash his car for 10 rands and mow his lawn for 20 rands. Yeah. But out of me, I'm not going to pay you. You do that out of love, out of respect for me because I'm your father. He taught me a very, very important lesson there, that if you want something for your loved ones, you'll do it without asking anything from them. And if you want to start a business, or if you want money, you deliver a service that someone needs. So the next door neighbor, his name was Hannes Engelbrecht. I washed his car. He had a Volkswagen Caddy bakkie, the old Mark 1 Volkswagen bakkies. That time was not Caddy, it's Volkswagen Mark 1 bakkie and Alfa Romeo 33. Yeah. And I cut his grass and he gave me, I think it was 35 rands that time. Yeah, but I used my father's lawnmower and I used my father's soaps and buckets and chamois and rags. Yeah. After that, we still had the Volksblad Courant, the paper, Volksblad paper. So I got up 4 o'clock in the morning when the Toyota van delivered a bunch of papers, and I folded up the papers, put it in my bags, got on my bicycle and delivered for my customers papers to get money. So where's my white privilege? I didn't get anything for free, but you say it's white privilege. There were some customers, some lawyers and doctors and private business people that I delivered papers to them at the end of the month when I come to collect the payment for the papers I delivered through the month. They gave me a tip, a 5 rand. That was usually the business owners. The doctors that I delivered papers to, they usually gave me a 10 rand tip at the end of the month. The lawyers was usually a 20 cents or a 50 cents, or if you're lucky, a 1 rand coin. The lawyers. That's how I learned about life. That if you want something, you've got to work for it. I never had white privilege. I always took my own initiative and I worked for what I want. So now, you black people of South Africa, you say I've got white privilege. You don't know what white privilege is, man. I never got anything for free. I always had to work for it. You know what white privilege is? Is when my white ass was conscripted to the Defence Force. Just because I'm white and I'm a man. That time I was not a man. I was still a young, you can say a child. Yeah, I was conscripted to the army. And they taught me to do terrible things. Where's the white privilege in that? So don't come with that words, white privilege, to me. I don't know what the fuck white privilege is, ne. Because everything I have, ne, I've worked for. I've never received anything for free. I did not receive anything for free. Even in my education, I had to pay for my education, to learn. I never got my education for free. Even at school, my education wasn't free. My parents had to pay. That same haragat fucking pa, that my father, that was a very, very harsh man. He paid for me to get an education at school. I didn't get the chance to go to university because there was no money. My father, he committed suicide when I was in standard 9. And when he committed suicide, his will and things were not in order. So there was no money for me to go to university to study. But if he was alive, he would have had to pay to send me to university. Now, although I don't have a university education, I worked and I made sure that I got a good education after school, after the army. I paid in Nissan lots of money to study at night, after hours. I paid. Nothing was given to me for free. I didn't get SASSA grants. Now you black people are saying, I have white privilege, man. Hey man, bugger you. There's no such thing as white privilege, eh? Everything I have, I've worked for. And at the end of the day now, look at my things that I have now. It's nothing. It's bugger all. So if you want it, come and take it. I'll give it for you for free. Because it's nothing. But you say, I have white privilege. Everything I have, I've worked for. I'm 51 now. I started working when I was 10, 11 years old. So for 41 years, I've worked and I've worked hard. Yeah, I've studied hard. And still I have nothing. Because of taxes from your government, your black government. I have nothing. I don't have property. The house I'm living in, I have to rent it. Because I'm too poor to buy it, to own it. But you say, I have white privilege, man. Take your white privilege that you're saying I'm having and stick it up your asses, man. There's no such thing as white privilege, man. Everything I have, I've worked for. I've worked my ass off for it. Just because you're lazy, you black people are lazy. Now you want what I have. Hey man, take your finger out of your ass and start working. Start doing. Start making a difference. Fucking hell, white privilege, man. What a fucking... man. There's no such thing as white privilege.